Have you ever had to pretend you liked something just to keep the peace? A lifestyle, a rule, a salad that tasted like sand? Caro tried. He nodded, he smiled, he chewed lettuce with loyalty. But at night, his spirit would rise and follow the scent of banga soup. His wife Ejiro meant well. Her rules were rooted in love and fear. But when she caught him, not the first time, not the second time, but on the third night, everything spilled. More than just the soup. This isn't just a story about food. It's about compromise, grief, and the quiet things we don't say out loud until someone catches us in the kitchen. Many years ago, long before the starch wars and the midnight betrayals, Ogeneka Rotite fell in love with a woman who made him drink kunu on their first date instead of cook. He should have known. At the time, it felt like charm, something different. He was used to flashy girls from Lagos with glittering nails and words like soft life sewn into their vocabulary. But Ejiro had been something else entirely. Sharp, elegant, principled. Her beauty didn't walk into a room, it glided. The first time they met was at a real estate seminar in Port Harcourt. She had stood up to correct the speaker on a zoning regulation and made the whole room fall silent. Carol, sitting three holes behind her, whispered to the man beside him, "Ha! Now this kind woman I won't marry." 6 years later, he did. Now, in the wild marble tiled master bedroom of their home in GRA Warri, the very same woman was pacing slowly in her floral robe, phone in hand, while Caro lay sprawled across the Egyptian cotton sheets like a man who had fought and won a war. His wrapper was half tangled around his legs, his belly rising peacefully, his senses still drunk from dinner. They were not poor people. Caro ran a Delta Sec Tech, a booming security tech firm that recently won a government contract to digitize surveillance in Delta and Bayelsa states. Calm-natured and quietly humorous, he believed in solving problems by either wiring them or ignoring them. Ejiro, on the other hand, was fire wrapped in silk, a licensed urban planner and owner of Green Line Interiors. She had an eye for balance in buildings, in business, and in people. She hated disorder. She folded fitted shit like a military officer, and she believed health was not just a lifestyle but a duty. Their marriage worked because they knew where to meet in the middle, or at least pretend to. Their love, though strong, wasn't romantic in the teenage sense. It was intelligent, tactical, a dance between two people who respected one another deeply, but also tested each other constantly. That Sunday evening, the air in their bedroom was still and fragrant. The scent of Ejiro's lavender diffuser hung in the air like quiet insistence. The housekeeper, Modupe, had already gone to her quarters for the night. Outside, the generator hummed like an obedient beast. Carol was lying across the bed in a loose white t-shirt and wrapper, his belly full and spirit tranquil. He had been eating two satisfying wraps of starch with banga soup, so thick it could seal a broken heart. The soup had been made with love, smoked catfish, dry bushmeat, plenty of beletete, and a splash of ground roll for heat. He was sliding into that post-food serenity when Ejiro walked in with her phone in one hand and her brow furrowed like a committee was meeting inside it. "Carol," she said, sitting at the edge of the bed. "Hmm?" He responded, one eye already half closed. She turned her screen toward him. "Watch this, oh." He shifted up a little and glanced. A YouTube video paused at a frame where a bright-eyed nutritionist was pointing at a diagram of his stomach. Ejiro didn't wait for his reaction. She took a deep breath. We need to stop eating heavy at night, though." Carol's wrapper suddenly felt tighter. "Sorry?" "I'm serious," she said, switching to her soft but serious voice, the one she used when talking to new clients or problematic vendors. "We eat the way people used to when they walk 10 kilometers a day. Now we sit, we press laptop, we talk on the phone, and we carry starch to bed like it's our birthright." Carol sat up properly now, staring at her. "But you just helped Modupe make that banga now. That should be the last one, no," she said. "Last one before what?" She rose and walked towards the wardrobe. From tomorrow, we'll be taking heavy lunch in the afternoon and light dinner. Smoothies, fruit bowls, green soup, ginger tea. You see, we'll feel better. Carol ran his tongue along his teeth, searching for an appropriate response. You started again, oh, he finally said. She turned. This is not again. This is priority. We are not children anymore, Carol. He laughed dryly. Because of one of your YouTube videos? Ejiro's face shifted. Barely, but he noticed it. That's not fair. He sighed. Babe, look, you know I support your healthy lifestyle. I drink the teas now. I chew carrots and ginger. But you see, starch is not my enemy. We've been eating starch since before we were born. Our ancestors even ate it. And people also used to die at 50. She snapped, then stopped herself. She picked up her silk bonnet from the vanity and slipped it on in silence. I'm not asking for perfection, she said after a moment. I'm asking that we partner in this. Let's try it for a week. If you hate it, we'll now adjust. Carol looked at her, then at the empty plate by the side table where his soup had once lived. He could see she had already made up her mind. He could also see how tightly her arms were folded like a woman holding something invisible in place. All right, we'll try it your way. When Carol said, all right, we'll try it your way, he meant it. Well, he meant it the same way Nigerian politicians mean we are working on it. The intention was there, the enthusiasm, less so. Still, for the first few weeks, he tried, really tried. On a Monday night, Ejiro served what she called a detox plate. It was a suspicious arrangement of boiled carrots, steamed okra with no oil, and what she enthusiastically referred to as roasted almonds for texture. Carol stared at it like it was a science experiment. Babe, this okra, e get as e be o. Poking at it with his fork. It's clean, she replied, beaming. There are no additives, no salt, just natural goodness. He chewed slowly as if the food might explode if he bit too hard. It didn't taste like food at all. It tasted more like paper. But he swallowed, smiled weakly, said thank you after eating. But in his mind, natural goodness fit kill person o. Tuesday was worse. He got home late, genuinely famished after back-to-back meetings, and walked into the kitchen, praying for something with actual volume. Ejiro smiled proudly from behind the kitchen island. Tonight, she said, we are going Mediterranean. Oh, he said cautiously. She uncovered the tray with a flourish. Quinoa salad with shredded lettuce, 3 cherry tomatoes, 1 boiled egg cut into quarters, and what looked like a polite drizzle of olive oil that had changed his mind halfway. Carol blinked. Where is the rest of the food? That's it though, she said brightly. This is what Greek billionaires eat. Are they hungry billionaires? She didn't laugh. She was serious. And so he sat and chewed and chewed and chewed. At one point, he took a sip of water and genuinely hoped it would expand the quinoa in his stomach. Wednesday was soup night, but not banga, not starch. Ejiro placed a white ceramic bowl in front of him with what looked like hot river water inside. He called it bone broth, infused with ginger, garlic, and some turmeric. Carol tilted the bowl gently. The liquid shifted, too transparent to trust. Is the bone inside? No, she said. It was simmered for hours and removed. This is just the essence. He took a spoonful. It tasted like betrayal. He nodded though and drank. By Thursday, he tried to take initiative. He texted Ejiro, hey babe, what if we just do grilled plantain and fish tonight? It's still healthy now, but at least he's feeling. Great idea, but let's steam the fish with no salt and skip the plantain. Just grilled zucchini instead. I'm proud of you. Carol sighed. At dinner, he chewed the zucchini like it was a responsibility. At one point, he beat his inner cheek and took it as a sign from God. But Friday broke him in a new way. Ejiro, glowing from a full day at her studio, announced that she had made something different but delicious. Carol walked into the dining room to see a plate of mashed avocado and unsweetened oats. Oats, he asked carefully, at night. It stabilizes your blood sugar, she explained, so it won't spike. He looked at the bowl, then at her. Ejiro, he said gently, If my blood sugar was a car, it has already crashed. She ignored him. He still sat and ate. He stared at the wall in silence afterward for 10 minutes, wondering when his ancestors started eating avocado. On Saturday, there was no dinner at all. She said it was a conscious fast. We'll eat tomorrow. We have to fast, she said with a kiss on his cheek. As if kisses could replace calories. Carol climbed into bed, wrapped his arms around her waist, and quietly let one tear slide into his pillow. Yet through all of it, he didn't rebel. At least not yet. Something about the way Ejiro would smile afterward, resting her hand on his shoulder, whispering, "We are doing this together," kept him from outright mutiny. He loved her. He respected her. But every night he dreamed of banga soup, of starch glistening in red oil, of goat meat falling apart between his fingers. He would wake up, heart pounding, stomach aching. He would stare at the ceiling, then close his eyes and wait for morning. Then on Friday night, after yet another bowl of boiled lentils and cleansing cucumber water, Carol lay in bed staring at the ceiling fan, arms crossed on his chest. Adriel had fallen asleep quickly beside him, peaceful as always, but Carol's eyes were wide open. Not angry, not even hungry really, just tired. He had tried. For 2 weeks straight, he had swallowed every oil-free, flavor-starved dinner with the dedication of a monk. He had eaten quinoa until his dreams tasted like cardboard sheet. He had smiled through okra with no salt. He had nodded at lemon water like it was wine. But inside he was folding. He closed his eyes and whispered to the ceiling, "Ha, I can't keep up with this." Oh. That was the moment something in him quietly snapped. The next afternoon during his lunch break at the office, he told his driver to reroute through a full roundabout. The Buka woman, Mama Idosko, recognized him immediately, smiled with all her teeth. Oga Carol, long time oh. You look really small oh. Na Jim or na that your fine wife dey do you like this. He laughed, already smelling the soup. Abeg I wan chop banga, that my usual na. One for now, one to go. She winked. I sabi you now. That evening when he got back home from work, he called Mudbe aside. Madam fit no like this thing, so no talk, he whispered. Then he handed her a small silver flask sealed with tight banga soup and starch. See, I want you to go and keep this thing for me inside the kitchen. Just put it behind the blender. I will come and collect it later, okay? Moduke blinked twice, then nodded. Yes, Oga. And so began the new routine. Every day, office banga at lunch. Every night, Buka starch hidden at home. And when the house had gone quiet, when Ijiro had called up and her breathing softened into rhythm, Carol would rise like a thief in his own mansion. He would stealthily, with silence and precision, slip into the kitchen barefoot, retrieve the flask from his hiding place, sit on a low stool, and eat in the dark with the fridge lights barely reaching him. He didn't use any plates until the fourth night. That night, he slipped in through the front door around 10:38 p.m. The house was dark. No footsteps, no voices. Edrew's bedroom lamp was off. He made his way to the kitchen like a man answering ancestral summons. There it was, the microwave light glowing like a holy altar. He slid in the starch and soup. Press start. The hum of the machine filled the room like a soft drum before war. Then he sat. He unwrapped the starch. Steam rose, thick and fragrant. The palm oil shimmered. The scent leaf floated at the top like a final benediction. He dipped, swallowed, closed his eyes. Heaven, unfiltered heaven. He took another, then another. Are you done hiding? The voice came from the shadows behind him. He froze, hand mid-air, heart full of pepper and panic. Slowly, he turned. Adriel was standing at the doorway, arms folded, wrapper tight, hair bonnet in place. She looked like judgment and heartbreak, and something else he couldn't name. Ejiro. She walked in. This is what you have been doing, eh? Lying, sneaking, after everything we said. He stood slowly, guilty, starch still in his hand. I wasn't trying to deceive you, he said. I miss this a lot. You don't understand. I don't, she snapped. I don't understand. I've been eating cucumber for dinner and you've been buying contraband soup from that Ifuru woman. He blinked. You know about the buka? She rolled her eyes. Caro, I'm married to you. Oh. You should understand. You think I wouldn't recognize that particular scent of crayfish and betrayal? He laughed before he could stop himself. But she didn't. He cleared his throat. See, maybe I went too far. But this rule is hard, babe. I lie down and my stomach is praying for mercy. She didn't say anything. Instead, she walked past him, sat at the table and stared at the food. He watched her for a moment. Then without a word, she dipped her hand. One swallow, then another. She closed her eyes. God, help me, she whispered. Then silence. For a moment, all they heard was the sound of soup leaving the plate. After a while, she looked at him, face softer now. I didn't want it to be like this. Carol pulled out a chair beside her and sat. Then tell me, why you being so strict? Why now? She stared at the remaining soup. My mother, she said slowly. She died in her sleep. No warning, no illness that we knew of. Just chest pain and silence. He said nothing. She was just 49, fit on the outside, but inside, things had been wrong for years, and she ignored them. She was eating everything, laughed through it, even my dad. He passed 3 years later. They said he had stroke. His blood pressure was sky high. He kept saying, it's nothing, until it wasn't. She wiped the corner of her eye. I watched them go like that, quietly, like someone stealing life out of me. I promised myself, I will do better. I'll be better. Not for abs or anything, just for my time. Carol reached for her hand. You should have told me this thing like this now, he said. I just wanted you to join me freely. I didn't want to guilt trip you. He nodded. They sat in silence. Then Ejiro exhaled deeply. This soup they make person forget sense. Carol chuckled. I've been saying it since. She laughed too finally. Then she picked one last piece of pomo and placed it in his hand. From tomorrow, she said, we'll find balance. Big lunch, small dinner. But once in a while, let the spirit lead. He raised the pomo like communion. Amen. That night they went to bed full, but not just with food, with truth, with softness, with something Carol hadn't tested in a long time, understanding. And in the fridge behind the almond milk and beetroot juice sat the last serving of bangas, wrapped, waiting, not as a secret, but as a promise. The end. They say love is about compromise, but real love is about understanding. Not just of each other's routines and rules, but of their fears, their silence, their quiet breaking points. Carol thought he was just sneaking food. Ejiro thought she was just protecting their future. But both were navigating grief, memory, and expectations in the only way they knew how. And when they finally sat down at the same table, not as rebels, not as rivals, but as partners, they found peace in a plate of starch. The moral of this story is that sometimes the real conflict isn't about what's on the plate. It's about what's weighing on the heart. Love doesn't always mean saying no. Sometimes it means learning when to sit down and share. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Let's talk really. Have you ever hidden food from someone you love? And more importantly, do you believe in strict health routines or eating what makes you happy? Please let's share in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more real relatable stories like this one. Thank you so much for watching till the end. See you in the next one. Bye.